What happens if you leave a camera at the train track for 48 hours? This right here is a trail camera, and hunters use it to hunt for deer and other animals. Now in today's video, I'm going to be hunting for trains with this. We're going to put this on a tree next to the Union Pacific Wagner subdivision, and we're going to see how many trains we can catch in 48 hours. Let's get rolling.
Living on toast and time. Living on toast and time.
To start this video, we got the trail camera set up in northeast Oklahoma on the Union Pacific Wagner subdivision. The trail camera was hidden in the trees so no people would see it from the railroad tracks. After getting the trail camera set up, the first train of the day, which is a Union Pacific coal train, came by at about 50 miles per hour. Now one thing I did not realize until after we had done this is how short the reaction time is. So sorry about that, but here's our first train video. To be expected, this is not like the top of the line, highest quality videos. I'm not using my Sony. This is just a $100 trail camera put out on a tree next to the train tracks. Now this train had two DPUs, a Union Pacific AC-44 and a Union Pacific GEVO. While our second train is the Union Pacific mixed freight train that has an AC-44 leader and an SD-70M trailing second. I personally love the Union Pacific SD-70Ms. They're probably my favorite Union Pacific train engine alongside the SD-60M. Now let me know down in the comment section below if you like the SD-70M or if you don't like it. So it took nearly 4 hours until our next Union Pacific train got here. But this train had 3 locomotives on the lead, 2 of them being AC-44s and 1 being an AC-6000. The next train is a Union Pacific grain train with 2 GEVOs and an SD-70M on the lead. This train came by at 5:40 p.m. Central Daylight Time. For any of those wondering, you can look at the bottom right of the screen to see the date and time this video was taken. The final train before it got dark is this Union Pacific mixed freight train with 4 locomotives, an ES-44AC and ET-44T4, and 2 AC-44CWs. This train came by a little bit later in the evening, right as the sun was going down. Now before we continue this video, I want to take a quick second to talk about Oklahoma Railfan merch. On OklahomaRailfan.com, you can buy all sorts of Oklahoma and Oklahoma Railfan themed merch. Check it out today at OklahomaRailfan.com. So heading back to our train videos, one thing I didn't notice is how dark it was going to be like for the camera at nighttime. So most of the train videos are just the reflectors of the freight cars and locomotives shining in the infrared light. So I'm going to skip past all these trains and show you all the total count. Oh hey, it's day again, and just in time to tell you about Model Train Media. Model Train Media is a place where model railroaders like myself can go and post their pictures, videos, and updates on their train layouts. So go check it out today and become a member at modeltrainmedia.com. Well, our next train is a Union Pacific coal train with an ES-44 AC leader, an SD-70M second, and an AC-44 CW trailing third. So our next train came by a couple hours later, and it's our first SD-70 ACE leader. Now, unless there was an SD-70 ACE leader at night, this would have been the first one. Well, when I was editing this video, I noticed something weird on the front of this train locomotive. It looks like some sort of silver, like, rectangle on the front of the locomotive. After I did some research, it looks like this is a special interest unit that was kind of like in honor of a specific railroader. So that's pretty cool. So the next train is a Union Pacific grain train. Yet again, another Union Pacific train with an SD70M trailing. It has officially been over 24 hours since we first put the camera up, and we have 15 trains that have come by in the past 24 hours. This train is no exception to our rarity of trains, with an SD70M trailing third on this mixed freight train. Our next train is a Union Pacific mixed freight train with an SD70 ACE Tier 4 leader. I personally love the EMD Tier 4s. I think they just look great and have amazing horns. So our next train is actually the very first southbound train of this video, with an SD40N leader and an ES44 AC trailing second. Now, if you haven't noticed, southbound trains do not come through the Union Pacific Wagner subdivision unless it's a local. And since this is the only local that comes through, this is the only southbound of the entire video. Our next train is a Union Pacific coal train. And it's been a while since we've seen one of these, but we're finally back off coal trains. This one left the Public Service of Oklahoma power plant in Oologah, Oklahoma. This one had 2 in the front and 2 in the back. I have nothing else to say about this train, so let's get rolling. Well, the next train came by a couple hours later, and it's probably one of the coolest ones that we saw out of all 48 hours. This is a rerouted CPKC grain train with 3 Kansas City Southern train locomotives in the front. Now, I don't know about you, Kansas City Southern only runs through a very small part of Oklahoma, so having some way over here by Tulsa is pretty cool. And finally, our 22nd train is the very last one in our 48-hour run on the Union Pacific Wagner subdivision. And trailing fourth in this train is an SD40N, which I think is pretty cool. And there it is, guys. 22 trains in 48 hours. And that's what happens if you leave a camera at the train track for 48 hours. Now, this video would have not been possible without my support from OklahomaRailfan.com, my personal merch store, and support from the Great Plains Train Chasers. All of the members are listed in the description below. Make sure you subscribe to their channels. Make sure you subscribe to Oklahoma Railfan, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Thank you for making it to the end. Goodbye.